Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here today. If you are new, please click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you are the first to know when I release a new video. Today we'll be talking about breastfeeding. I am a new mom. I have a 4-month-old infant, and so I know this is a subject that is very important to every woman who has had a child. And so I thought to talk about it because we all feel, it's breastfeeding. Every woman knows how to breastfeed, and it's okay and it's normal. But there are certain challenges that are unique to each and every one of us, and we all have different ways of going through it. So I am not an expert. I am not a medical personnel. I am sharing my own personal experience on breastfeeding. So you might have something different, and if you do a different idea or a different method on how you do your breastfeeding, please comment in the comment section and let's talk about this. As we know, breastfeeding involves feeding your child with your breasts, which God has given to us. It's our natural food for our kids when they're born. When do you start breastfeeding? It's usually advised that you start breastfeeding from the moment the child is born. Usually I think after an hour after the child is born, on almost depending on how the child was born. So if you have a cesarean birth, most likely after they check the baby, make sure the baby is fine, and you're out in the pre-op area, breastfeeding will be encouraged to begin. If you have vaginal birth, I think almost immediately after you're cleaned up, the baby's cleaned up, they advise that you start, when you're doing the skin to skin, you're advised to start breastfeeding almost immediately. So what happens when you do that? Now, not every woman starts, like the bodies start producing milk immediately. I know for my first baby, my milk didn't start coming in time almost immediately. Some women, you have to stimulate the nipples. You have to, it can be done manually. You can have someone suck your nipple. For my case, my husband had to do that to to get the milk flowing, and it was for the benefit of the child at the end of the day. So yes, we did that. Then the milk started flowing, but it didn't start flowing like immediately. So new moms, please be patient with yourself. Be patient with your bodies. If it's your first baby, obviously your body's new to this. It might take a little bit of time to get used to. So please be patient. Don't say, oh, my mom told me that when she gave birth, her breast milk started flowing immediately. No two women's bodies are the same. Your body might produce milk almost immediately. Mine might take a few days. It depends. So when and for how long should you breastfeed? Most women ask this question. What amount of time is the appropriate amount of time for me to breastfeed? Most people advise that you exclusively breastfeed for 4 to 6 months. I think that's UNICEF or WHO standard for 4 to 6 months. Exclusive breastfeeding means your baby does not take anything else except breast milk. So no water, no formula, nothing, just breast milk. Crazy, right? But that is the best thing you can do for your child. In the same light, I would like to say as well, for mothers who cannot breastfeed your child, please note that you are absolutely perfect. Do not bend to societal pressures saying, oh, you must breastfeed or you are less of a woman because you're not breastfeeding your child. For whatever reason, if it's health-wise or your body does not just produce breast milk, please don't feel less of a woman because of that and begin to beat yourself up. Do what is right for your baby. Give them whatever is available. Do what is right by your baby. Don't say, oh, I must breastfeed and whatever it takes, I must do that. No. If your body allows and you do everything you can to produce milk, but your body does not, please do not punish your baby. Go ahead, give them formula or milk or whatever they need, and live your life to the fullest. You are still a mother, you're still an amazing woman. It doesn't take anything away from your woman. Moving on. So what are the advantages of breast milk? Now, I know there have been a lot of studies about breast milk and formula and the differences. Again, that's the reason why I made the previous statement that your child is taking formula does not mean that they're lesser babies. They are still going to be amazing, healthy children. That's the goal, raising healthy, wholesome children. But I'm talking about breastfeeding today, so I'm going to concentrate on the advantages of breastfeeding. It contains a lot of nutrients, so it has the ideal amount of nutrients coming naturally from your body to the baby. It is said that your body regulates to the baby's needs. So as the baby is breastfeeding, the saliva goes into your body, and then the body adjusts to what the baby needs. So your baby is getting the exact nutrients that it needs to develop, or whatever is missing or whatever is deficient in them. When that breastfeeding process takes place, the baby gets all that nutrients. Your breast milk is also filled with antibodies, and you know, when your baby is still new, their immune system is not fully developed, they're not strong enough to fight off diseases or whatever might be harmful to them. That's why you find out that most babies who are breastfed are rarely sick. They fall sick, but rarely. It increases the mother-baby bond. So as you breastfeed, your baby's hair is close to your heart. You feel your heartbeat, you feel the baby's heartbeat. So there is that bond that the mother and the baby enjoy. So these are some of the benefits. There are so many benefits, but of course, I'm going to tell you what I know based on my own experience. New moms, another thing you might experience is tenderness in your nipple and even sores sometimes, because in those early days, the baby is not latching properly sometimes, and then rather than holding on to the edge of your nipple, they're holding on to the tip of your nipple, and then that sucking sensation begins to peel your nipple, and that's very painful, I can tell you. So if this happens to you, please get your nipple cream, apply that on after nursing. And if the wound is really bad, I would advise not to nurse the baby directly. So you use your pump. You can use any of this. This is not an advert for Medela, but this is one of the best brands in the market. You can use your breast pump to pump milk and then bottle feed the baby. Within 2 to 3 days, your nipple should heal and you can go back to breastfeeding. But I would not advise breastfeeding a baby with a nipple that has a sore on it. Please always ensure to take care of your nipples. Another thing to be mindful of is medication. When you're breastfeeding and you have to go to the hospital, or if you're on medication, please let your physician know that you're breastfeeding, because not every medication is good for breastfeeding, because the quantities that might get into your milk might not be good for your baby. So please, whatever procedures you need to go through, if you, God forbid, you fall sick and you have to go into the hospital or do some imaging or whatever, and they need to use contrast or something, please always mention I'm breastfeeding, so they know if that's right for you or not. Sometimes if you really have to do the procedure, they might say, okay, don't breastfeed for 24 hours, and this is where stored breast milk comes to play. It helps you. Anyways, I hope I've not bored you too much, and I hope you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things today. So please share your experiences with me in the comment section. Tell me what you did. What was your experience with breastfeeding? Have you exclusively breastfed before? You know, just tell me about your own experiences. I would like to hear from you. And thank you again for tuning in today. Like I say again, I'll see you in my next video. Until then, remember to live life golden.